myself across town in 14 seconds flat. My neighbors kind of hated it though. They were trying to forget their old lives and watching me skip across the rooftops like a stone reminded them. That's beef. Screw with the limits of Fantasyland so you're blue in the face, but you're just fast. You're not even I was pushing against the limits, but nothing was ever gonna really change. So I went into the sewer. For a week, looking to shave a quarter-second off between the bus stop and Admiralty, which was like a half-mile away. One day, I hit my jump at the wrong angle, and I go head first through what should have been like a concrete wall. Only it wasn't. I passed right through it. I land in this tiny little box of a room, and completely stand up in it. Right away, it doesn't feel like I'm supposed to be there. 3 of the walls looked right, but one of them was just mesh and grid patterns, like somebody hadn't finished it. And sitting there on the ground was a 6-sided dice. bus stop in Admiralty. So when I dropped the dice and I tried to walk back out of there, whoosh, I'm suddenly walking at like 30 miles per hour. I'm beyond fast. I'm like lightning. Then I looked down and I wasn't in my body anymore. I looked like a girl. Like some kind of assassin? I don't know. It scared the hell out of me, actually. At first, I thought I'd never go back down there. That feeling lasted about 3 hours. thinking about strength, and boom, I was this bruiser guy who could punch through a wall, focus on gravity, and I'm some kind of soldier cat running on the sun. But it was always only last as long as I could focus on it. Started focusing more and more. yourself here don't exist, where literally anything is possible. That's where we are. And if you're listening to this, consider this an invitation to join us. I wish I could tell you how you're going to find it, but every path is different. What I can say is this: stop playing the game how it's meant to be played. Look for anomalies. Look for breaks. Test the limits. You'll find your way. What you looking at, kid? Okay, you're pretty good, but you're still a player. And a player won't survive the ascent. Even if you did, I don't need another player. What I need is a DM, a creator, a builder. Here, take this body log, go fill it with avatar.